I'm currently a computer and information science major. I have a concentration in networking and cybersecurity and a minor in criminal justice to supplement the cybersecurity side.
And did you tell us, sorry, did you mention what year you're in?
Oh yeah, I'm a senior. So I graduate in May. So
Yay.
excited, very very excited for that.
Um, yeah, so we're here to answer any questions that you have for us about the major, about Springfield College, about classes, about the city of Springfield.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
anything. If they want to ask it, I'm an open book.
yeah.
I'm very okay with answering any tough questions you might have about entering either the field or just the school in general. I've seen and done everything here at school in the sense of a college experience, so both aspects of personal life and academia are perfectly fine. So don't worry about it. But yeah.
I can't tell if they're frozen or shy or we're
I,
hoping.
I would be in the same boat too. Honestly, I'd be a little quiet and just be like, all right, let them let them talk and do their thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you guys want to message about it instead of talking, that's also okay. Um, but yeah,
Oh, and there's Jaden. Hey, Jaden.
Hi.
So, this is recording. You probably got a notification, hopefully, when you signed in that it's recording.
Yeah.
Just in case there were people who couldn't log in real time today. So Danielle, that's on here, is with admissions. So I mean, she might be interested in computer and information sciences, but maybe not.
Hi. Thanks for introducing me. Yes, I do have some sample questions if you want me to ask those and share those. I don't know if that's super helpful.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, sure. What has been the best thing about your undergrad experience so far at Springfield? Specifically in your major is helpful, I think, but if you want to go in a grander context, that would be helpful too.
all right, I'll go ahead and start since I'm finishing up soon. In terms of my major, I think building a connection with the professors themselves
You already
has been a lot better. Hi, Matthew. How are you? All right. You're good. You're good. You're good. But yeah, so to answer, she asked what was like the best experience, or talk about my experience about being in my major in Springfield College and my personal life. So as I was saying, the connection with professors in terms of my academia was probably and is probably like the most important part. Building connections on any professional level and educational level is probably a very good jump start to a I guess mature lifestyle. Not that you have to be mature, but it definitely jumpstarts everything in terms of your academic and eventual like work life. And I've become very close to some of my professors here at Springfield College. Specifically, one is Professor Candido. For those that know him, he's helped me with a lot. They have a program over at a nearby tech school that is amazing, and he's been able to bridge that gap. And I was able to connect with even those professors through his connection there, and just build that as a whole. In terms of my personal life, it's a small school, and this could also relate back to the um, professor aspect. Like you get smaller classrooms, you're not gonna be like 75 to 150 like person lecture heavy, where it's just information in, information out. Like they're very willing to help and talk to you, and that's the same exact I guess vibe that I get from the students here also on campus. And everything is very personal. You kind of see the same people. I like to think about it as like a huge high school in the sense of people. If I went to like a smaller high school, so this is already like much bigger for me, but um yeah, that's how I think about it. I love the people here, and I love being able to make connections and actually get close with people and not just be considered a number. And that was something that was very important to me. Jaden, go ahead. Sorry, I talked for a while.
And Jaden,
Um,
sorry, before you answer, can you introduce yourself and just tell us all your majors, minors, what year you're in, anything like that?
okay, so I'm Jaden Basha. I'm a sophomore in the computer science program. And I'm currently on the wrestling team. One thing that I would say is the abundance of options that you have within the major, as well as the abundance of people willing to help you and direct you in those different directions. Because I didn't know a lot of people coming into the major, and a lot of the teachers, even though I didn't have them, were willing to help me get to where I needed to be, whether they're in my department or not. And just the options that you have, like the different pathways you can go within a single major here at this school, I found was a pretty good thing. So
Awesome. I can definitely ask the next question. Thank you guys for sharing. You guys, I think, both touched on this a little bit, but what does the college offer for student academic support services? Is there tutoring available? And how does that kind of work with help from your advisor and kind of the professional setting too?
So for academic help and support, just to start off, and I know like you said, we touched upon this before, it's a very small classroom in the sense of like you get close to the professors, they care about your success. My father's a professor over in Connecticut, and I've seen the same philosophy that he always says applied here, and it's if you care, then I'm going to care more, and if you don't care, I'm going to care less. And you show them you care, they're going to go above and beyond to make sure that you succeed and you do everything you want to in life. Essentially, they're going to go like out of their way. Again, Professor Candido is a very um like helpful and just a great professor in general, and he's gone above and beyond to help me with my academic needs. Support services that are offered, there are tutors, and especially in these or this department, it's even more condensed. So there's tutors in the library, and your professors again are going to help you, and you also have your classmates with computer science, like especially like I live with another one of my like close friends, and he's also in the department, and doing coursework together was like you really get to learn through like especially like coding assignments, like you guys are going back and forth thinking about how someone else thinks about something as opposed to your sole way of thinking.
I agree with that. I think if you have the drive to do good with the facilities that there is on campus, you're going to get there. Because with whether it's the tutoring, whether it's you go to your professors, make the time to go to professors, help hours, like get to that, or with a tutor, or even in the library, they have these decent sized rooms with whiteboards. And like if you go in there with like people in your major and you spit ideas off of each other, it helps out. So within the campus, there's so many different facilities that allow you to get to where you need. You just have to, I guess, apply yourself to that to a certain extent to get to there.
Danielle, before you ask the next question, I just want to jump in because they've both talked about like the smaller class sizes. So I just want to say that for the computer science courses, our labs under non-pandemic conditions hold 20 students. So they're capped at 20. And, you know, once you get past the intro level classes, they're usually 15 at the most, right? I think
Sometimes even less. Like
yeah, object-oriented programming last time with Professor Haddad, I think had like 6 or 8 maybe students in it. So they're small. So it's not even that we're getting at the 50 or something like that. They're pretty small. And the other good news in terms of like professors is that we do have a new full-time professor that's going to be starting in the fall, which is very exciting news. He's finishing up grad school. His advisor assures us that he was actually going to be done in time. So that's also cool. So in addition to, and this was someone that, you know, Professor Candido met and signed off on as like a good addition to the department too. So to fit in with the atmosphere that we have.
Awesome, thanks. So the next question, what kind of practicum experiences or internships are available? And do you or students in general feel like they have support and really end up finding the internships that are right for them?
Touching upon the internships, so you're going to get emails from Kelly Lavoie, who is um, in the office over at the comp sci department, especially for me, and she'll just send out any little bit of information that she even like maybe hears about. You're getting an email about it, and she's trying to get a Springfield student to sign up on that internship or that job opportunity that could be in the current semester that you're in or in the next semester. They kind of go out of their way again with the connection aspect. Like Professor Candido had me um, apply to Mass Mutual and do stuff there with I ended up getting concussion, but that's beside the point. But he really set me up with their connections, and he's like very close with like the VP there. And I mean, right off the bat, being close with a VP of a Fortune 500 corporate company, you you get to really like see how those connections play out and how much they want to help you in terms of these internships. Um, I think specifically, I know like me and Jaden are computer science majors. Um, a lot of comp sci stuff in general is the best way to put it is like you're doing already everything online is the best way to like put that in the sense of like your work is technological based. There's a reason for that. Um, But with that being said, you're going to have to get these connections through your professors. And if not, you're going online and you make your own connections, whether that be through, LinkedIn through the school and you see what connections your professors and peers have and you kind of build from there. I know, especially in this day and age with social media and everything being very dominant in the technological aspect with COVID, of course. Um, Searching online, getting emails back and forth from your professor and their um, options, their potential connections, or even just their insight on companies that they know about, have heard about, because there's always people that know about companies in and around here, especially in Springfield and the surrounding states. There's always someone that knows someone. It's very small. It's very like tight knit, but make it short. They're going to be able to help you and go out of their way when you ask for it, and they're going to send you any little bit of information that they have on informations. And you also have the career fair with nearby Springfield, or even Connecticut, like these nearby places that come talk to you, and they're looking for people like in the comp sci department or in the math department or anything they need for like statistical analysis or whatever the case may be. But yeah.
I personally don't know too much about internships because I'm not there yet, but I've always felt that like when I am there, I would know what to do because of the help that I have here. And like whether it's an academic advisor letting you know like the steps you need to take to get to that point, or even like when I'm in class, like I overhear conversations with professors where like a student's happy to tell them something. They're like, oh, like I have this friend here that could possibly get you in here or whatever. And there's just so many different connections. And like you said, with the emails that we get, like when I was even a freshman, like I didn't know what those emails were, but I was constantly getting emails that were allowing, like telling me like, here's what to do. And so like there's so many people that you don't even realize are rooting for you and like pushing you forward. And like it's just you don't see it, but it's truly in the background. That's what's happening. Everyone's working towards you getting to a certain point. So.
And again, just to contextualize some of this, in the past year, how some of these internships have sort of changed a little bit. It's actually, as Dan said, like you're doing work on a computer anyway. So we've had a lot of remote internships, and that's allowed us with Dr. O'Brien, who has a lot of connections in the Boston area, that things that, would have been almost like a study abroad because Boston is close, but not that close. Some students have been able to transition those to remote internships. So we've been able, and I think that those partnerships are, as far as I know now as the interim chair, they're going to continue even as more people get vaccinated. So that's an opportunity that wasn't there before, but isn't looking like it's going away.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. So just to give some context, obviously I work on the admission side of things. So I work with students a little bit more, before they're at the college, not afterwards. And I know that it can be really stressful for prospective students when they're still looking at a major and, only 17, 18 years old. So if you guys don't mind sharing why your major, what got you interested in it, and then, why Springfield? What made you choose Springfield at the end of the day? Because, especially in a year where we're kind of COVID heavy and students can't always visit a campus or get to feel it in that same extent that they would have, I think it's, helpful to know why students chose Springfield at the end of the day.
That's a really good question. I like this. I'm gonna have fun with this one. So I chose computer science. So my dad is a systems administrative engineer, and he runs his own company for IT work essentially. And it's always been like something obviously kind of had to be discussed in the household with him coming home from work every day. And it got me more involved with technology when I was a kid. And I always knew that I guess that, like, the typical like, oh, I have a knack for technology or whatever the case may be. But like I dove in very, very deep, like the little rabbit hole of whatever niche community you kind of fall into. And I ended up really liking cybersecurity and computer science. And when I came to the school, one of the programs that specifically like lined up with my vision was computer science, but not um like you don't have to have a fixation on software development. There's that option, of course, and they have that concentration. But I like the cybersecurity aspect, and I always wanted to, I guess, like help people that have problems with IT, whether it's very basic like customer like aspect side, or very intense like private sector, someone like like the grand hacking thing. Obviously it's not like what you see in the TV shows. That's never true, please. Like I love those shows and I binge those shows. But IT is not always going to be like that. But it's that same concept of getting involved and being able to help people when they just don't have the expertise in that, and understanding networking and the technical side and cybersecurity on that was something that really stuck out to me. um, for answering the why I came here. So I love that, and this is gonna be hard over Zoom, of course, but coming here, and I had like Wentworth that I was looking at, like big tech schools. Both my father and my brother went to Yale, looking at schools like that, and like I came here and I was like, I would just like the feel. Like I'm I was playing sports, doing my thing in high school, just being like a young dumb kid as we all are. And I came here and it felt very homey. I was very I was here doing an overnight because I was gonna play baseball here and stuff with um one of my friends actually from my hometown, and everyone's just saying hi to me as I'm like, opening doors, and I was like, this isn't like like you go to like Boston, and like when I went to Wentworth and did my like tour there because that was my other like top school, um, I didn't really get that feeling. It was just like, oh, there's a bunch of people here, like do your thing, nobody's gonna care, like. But here, immediately, people were like reaching out and just being like very friendly for like they don't have to be. That's the thing, and that hasn't changed since I've been here. I was thinking maybe this is like it was a good day today. Like I came here on a good day, and when I came here for like open houses and my what is it, the summer orientation, I think it is. Yeah, same exact vibe, and that hasn't changed. Obviously, with COVID, it changed to the extent of not literally being able to see people as the entire world is experiencing. But I have never felt more at home and more comfortable to walk around a campus. And I have toured and been to a lot of places. I'm from Italy, like my family like grew up there and everything. Like this is a much different experience that I felt very, very comfortable in.
So my path to computer science was one that was rather different than I feel most people have. I was always an outdoorsy kid, like always. And I was always a hands-on type of person. And as a kid, as you grow up, like in school, we started working up with computers. And like in school, to me, like doing math or whatever wasn't fun. But when I got to go on the computer, that was fun because it was hands-on. And I think that just translated into me as I grew up and like got more into computers. I like just the hands-on aspect. And I like what we do here. It's because I know my friends in other schools that are the same major as me. They they take notes on their stuff and then on their free time they do it. But I feel like within my major here, we actually do it. And like if we have a problem, we fix it in that moment. And like it's more hands-on and I like that aspect. So, and then why Springfield? I would say I came here for my overnight and immediately I was just myself. And like I'm a shy person if I don't know you. And as soon as I stepped on campus, I couldn't stop talking to people and people couldn't stop talking to me. And it was all new. And I just loved it. And also you get the sense that although you don't know everyone, and like it is a small campus, but like you're not gonna know everyone, it feels as though you do. And like it feels as though everyone's rooting for you and everyone pretty much has the same path. Everyone wants to be successful and everyone wants to take everyone else with them to be successful and nobody wants to leave anyone behind. So that's why I chose here.
Awesome. I really appreciate you guys sharing that. I think that's really helpful context for students. Just for students, prospective students, I should say, in the room, just know that you can still visit campus. We do have some extra precautions and you do have to get tested if you're not within Massachusetts or a safe state, but you're still allowed to visit campus if you do want to experience that campus feel. Just have to, you know, plug admissions where I can. So you're more than welcome to do that. Just, I think, a few more questions if we have time and if that's okay with you guys. I know obviously it's a COVID year, so things are really different, especially that student experience. But if you could talk about maybe in a non-COVID year and a COVID year if you want, what campus life is like, both on the weekdays and then on the weekends too, and anything you're involved in. I think that would be kind of helpful for students.
Yeah, of course. So pre-COVID, I came into school, but one thing I want to preface too is that you're gonna be nervous coming into college. If you're not, kudos to you. Like no matter what, like you are way above me if you're not nervous like coming into college. But everyone's in the same boat, and I really want that to start off. Just aside from major stuff, like you're going to come here. Most people aren't gonna know each other. I had two people from my hometown that like I just like don't even see that much anymore but they're generally like those are the only two people I knew, and we get put into groups, and everyone's gonna be in that same boat, and you're gonna find your friends in your niche, and everyone's gonna be very friendly regardless of if they want to be friends with you or not. It's just like how is everything's gonna be. Um, so when everything first started, we had you come into school, you got your um you find your friend group and people that you're just hanging out with that you're comfortable with that you get attached to more than others as you do in life with anyone. And you get to hang out on campus. There's as a freshman you get um it's like I can't remember the name of it. I can't believe in my last year. Like the communal like area in your residence halls on your floor. There's like a communal area for you guys to hang out, and you talk to people on your floor, and you can walk around. We would go to the field house and play like basketball. We go to the gym, work out. We just go. There's always events happening all the time that the campus puts on. Even now with COVID, they have like a hockey rink. It's obviously COVID safe, and there's a food truck and sometimes more. And I just especially I want you to know that when there's free stuff, take it. We're all broke. Like we're all broke college students. When there is free food or free like shirts or whatever, just take it. You don't have to do laundry that extra day. You could wait and put it off till tomorrow if you need to. um but yeah, walking on campus, you just hang out with your friends. There's always stuff to do on campus in the sense of activities that they hold. Weekdays, me personally, it was I like getting my homework done, and then I kind of have a clear head and clear mind when I'm going to sleep. Obviously, like there's even tonight, I'm probably gonna be freaking out over like some assignment due in like 2 weeks, just because that's how I am. But you get a like you get that for me. I got that clean slate at night where I can literally hang out and play ping pong till like 3 in the morning, and there'd just be like 10 of us in the common room That's what it was called, common room. All right, there we go. But the common room, just hanging out and just talking and being, just college kids and enjoying our lives and everything. I'm not saying we don't do that now, but now that it's restricted, things are a little different. You kind of have to, pick and choose when and stuff you want to see people, but you could still go to these events, put a mask on, hang out with your friends as long as you're within a certain limit. And I'm trying to think of clubs. So I'm currently the president of the a cappella group on campus, and we would go 2 or 3 times a week. Go and I personally do the beatboxing side of everything, but people are singing and you're arranging, and it's just super fun hanging out with everyone. And there's so many clubs on campus for you to join. I would do more if I could, but I feel like me personally, I'm already spread thin with what I do, and there's literally clubs for everything, anything and everything. The intramurals for sports. I also used to wrestle. There's not intramural wrestling, but there's always stuff to fill in your time and fill in your gaps that the community here at Springfield puts out for you.
Pre-COVID or COVID now, I say the school is still as good as it was. They're always striving to give you the best, and that's something that I cherish. My freshman year, we had so many things that I think we took for granted, like midnight breakfast in Cheney. That was crazy. Or the different things that we have within, I think it's CAB. They put on different things like bingo or certain things like that inside the union or out on the Abbey Green playing games. And even so, COVID now, there's still things to do. The campus is beautiful. We have a huge lake behind some of the buildings where you could go walk. You could walk anywhere on the campus. The campus is beautiful. You could sit on the grass. And now, even now in a time where things are rough, they still find fun things for us to do, whether they'll have food trucks outside with strawberries or an ice rink, or you go and decorate a shirt or something like that, just something to bring happiness. And I feel like the campus always is bringing happiness to the students and the faculty, regardless of the situation.
Awesome, thank you. I think that's kind of the last of the questions I have. I don't know if student in the room has any questions, but feel free to, drop those in the chat if you don't want to say them out loud. I guess the last thing I'll leave with is if you could say, one thing of advice, whether that's for a student coming into college or a student trying to still decide what college to go to, I guess what would be your best advice that you could offer to a prospective student where they're at in their life right now?
One thing that even I still struggle with is just I guess be yourself. Not that I'm not, obviously, but whatever I guess happened in high school, whatever persona you decided to put on, me was kind of being a jock. And I know that sounds very dumb, but I'm thinking about this the 4 years ahead. I had this persona of needing to just be this I don't know, this tough guy. You don't need to do that. It's not that it's not that serious. The best way to put it. Be yourself. Be open to whatever. People are gonna like you for you. If you had past history in high school, you gotta think about it as a clean slate. Whatever. You don't. Let's say I have a friend group at home that I talk to every day. That's how my situation is. But if you don't want that, you come here and you find your friend group that you're gonna love for the rest of your life. Yeah, I would just say be yourself. I mean, I don't think I think that kind of goes without saying for anything, whether it's school, your work life, your personal life aside from school, just your, relationships. Yeah, be yourself. I'm very adamant, I guess is the best way to put it about that. There's people are going to accept you for you, especially at a place like this where you have such a tight-knit community. There's people that are going to accept and understand and want to help / be with you. Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. And also I feel just be open, to new people, to new opportunities and anything. because with this school, like anything could happen.
Yeah, I can't like stress it enough. I went from playing sports all the time. Not that you can't. Obviously, we see Jaden's wrestling here, probably going crazy. But when my dad, I remember when I came here was like, oh, like I was like, oh, I got something to tell you, and he was like, oh, you're playing baseball? Oh, you're wrestling? Like thinking about that, I was like, I'm an acapella, and he was like, oh wow, like I was not expecting that one to come around, and here it is years later. Even acapella itself helped me improve my stuff, and I've been able to achieve like rankings aside from school that I could supplement my resume and my own personal achievements that I like with my hobby.
One more thing that I would say just to add to that is um the opportunities are going to come. Like you just got to be open to them, and when you're not open to them, that's when like you lose those opportunities, whether it's a friend group or a job opportunity or just a chance to complete an assignment that would help you get a better grade. Like you just got to be open to anything.
All right, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. I know it's, always helpful for students to hear from current students. They hear enough from us at admissions 24/7, but if they do have questions, just know you can always email us. I know there's other things going on today, right? There's a class, I think at 2:30 that students can sit in on or kind of review on the website. So make sure you check back there. And if not, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, of course. If there's any, I could put my email in here if the one student or if anyone watches this video has any questions about the school itself for the major or whatever the case may be. But yeah.